So, see, I want to immediately jump into a topic that's super sore for a lot of people. Now, why do I care? Why do I care about games that are over a decade old? Well, one, I bought those games and played those games when they released. So from inception, I have been fans. And I've been a fan, and there are plenty of fans out there who appreciate this old school Capcom slash SNK type of releases. Uh, Particularly, why this stings even more is because if you are a Dreamcast guy or gal, not the a-hole, I'm talking about an actual Dreamcast player. If you are a player that played games from back in the days, well, obviously, you know, Power Stone should, at least for me, explodes off the screen. Power Stone 1 and 2 are Capcom yesteryear classics that not only deserve to be played today, and thanks to this collection, it will be, but I am in the camp that that game or those games either need to be remade from the ground up for modern consoles and graphics and visuals and sound, or just make a sequel. The game was way ahead of its time. And of course, in this collection, which is called the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, well, it's in that collection along with a bunch of other things. Now, Capcom Fighting Collection 1, currently available on your Xbox. I have it download. I own it for the Switch and I own it for the Xbox. With all of that said, why am I revisiting this conversation? Because it's a conversation worth revisiting. Again, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the show, that's about it. But I got to get my piece out there. And you know what? Shout out to Clobriel, who continues to drive the point home. When this was announced via the Nintendo Indies or Nindies, I should say, Direct, they showed this. Now, obviously, it's not an indie, but it's still a title that they showed during their stream. And of course, Clobriel, being the Xbox gamer that he is, he goes on to tweet Capcom Fighting Game Collection 2 coming exclusively, not to Xbox. And of course, I give him flowers for getting out there and giving Xbox to smoke. Because again, we're in 2024. There is absolutely no reason other than I don't give an F or I just missed the boat entirely why a game like this, that's basically a bunch of ROMs on a disc, can't come to an Xbox. Well, obviously, Jez Corden simply responded and reconfirmed what he said a couple of weeks ago. And he simply says they're working on it with a salute. Now, I'm going to say this, C-Money. Maybe this isn't the biggest story of the week. I understand. Maybe somebody in the chat right now was like, yeah, who cares about old games? I understand that as well. But I care. And I think that there is a conversation to be had that if you keep allowing games to skip the platform without any pushback, it's then deemed acceptable behavior. And I think that that is where we should draw the line. And thankfully, someone like Jez Corden, who does have an inside track, whether you love him like I do, or you hate him, and that's up to you, he does speak the truth. And if he's getting out here and putting his quotes out there for people to read, that means that there is something to it. So when Jez says simply they're working on it, that gives me hope that maybe it doesn't release this year. Because again, this particular collection isn't coming to next year. That's fine. But I believe Marvel vs. Capcom at some point is coming out this year. That's going to obviously be delayed until potentially next year. C-Money, the reconfirmation from Jez Corden should give players like me a tremendous amount of hopium, if you will. Do you think this is a fight worth having? Pun totally intended.
So this, I mean, So I kind of I've said this before for my end when it comes to this particular topic, right? Like for the people who want this game, or are interested in this game, absolutely, you want to have it here. So not having it sucks, right? So I get it. I will kind of stay in the same lane though. This the idea that Xbox is responsible for every developer to do what's best for their consumers. Like understand like this game is a Capcom game and I can't see it any other way than knowing that Capcom doesn't want to spend the extra money that's required to make it work on the Xbox, whatever they have to do, whether they have to update their framework or whatever it is that they have to do to make it happen. It's on Capcom to do it. I look at it as the opposite way. I think constantly going at Xbox over things that they cannot control, which is a third party deciding that they don't want to spend the money required. I think that's setting a bad precedent that somehow Xbox needs to foot the bill every time like you're setting Xbox up for extortion on a constant basis. It's like, well, it's going to require me a little work. So either you're going to pay us to do it or we're going to skip you. And it's like, how about we bitch at Capcom? And how about we make a big stink to Capcom saying, how dare you skip us? Like on our, on our channel, Black Myth Wukong skipping Xbox because of their bullshit reason is enough for us to say, well, I don't want to play your game. Right.
Well, that's
Not,
why I
hey,
didn't buy it.
Xbox,
I,
why
I won't
didn't you
buy it for
fix?
PlayStation 5 because I don't like the controller. Plus, it's a wreck there, and I don't play on
Yeah.
PC. And like I said before, I will never play on PC. It's just not my bag.
Yeah. But, like, I'm not gonna say, "Xbox, how dare you? How dare you, Xbox, not get Black Myth Wukong?" It's, "No, fuck you, Black Myth Wu." Oh, shit, my bad.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's
No,
fine.
no, it's like, "Screw you, Black Myth. You are saying that we're not valuable to you or we're less valuable to you than PlayStation is," which clearly we see the port that you put to PlayStation, and you didn't really do a good job there.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they want to blame the Series S, well, Digital Foundry came out and kind of already debunked that
Blame the
idea.
S for
So,
everything.
so the point is that the way I look at this and the way I go at this is, hey, game science, screw you for what you did. What this should be is another game Capcom is choosing to not release on Xbox and showing Capcom's Xbox fan base that they are not as important as the PlayStation fan base. Put that message out there. Have Clobro say that instead of saying another game exclusively not on Xbox in a way where it doesn't sound like he's going at Capcom for making that choice. He's instead going at Xbox for somehow not paying somebody to put a game on their console. What type of crazy shit is that? Unless it's going into Game Pass, why do they have to pay somebody to put a game on their console? It makes no sense. And the fact that we keep kind of propagating this idea instead of saying, yo, Capcom, what is up, dude? I'm a valuable customer. Hey, Capcom, I bought your game mad long ago, right? Why aren't you releasing it on my console of choice when you release it on my old console? Let's change the narrative, guys. Let's move on from XB and Xbox. We know it's not Xbox. Games come out on Xbox every day. The fact that it's being a choice, you know what nobody's talking about? Because nobody will. Tales of Azure, right? You know why nobody talks about it? Because nobody gives a shit about that game, right? Because it's a JRPG, right? But it's the first time ever it's coming to Xbox. Nobody's saying anything about it. It's a game that always skipped Xbox in the past for 24 years or however long that game's been out. It's never been on an Xbox. It's coming to an Xbox. No words. Nobody's saying, "Wow, look at the work Xbox doing on getting these Japanese games over here." Right? Where are those flowers, right? Where are the people saying, "Yo, good on them for doing it"? They don't, right? They don't. They just go ahead and they say, "Look, another game
You're
skipping
talking about Visions
Xbox."
of Mana, what you're talking about.
No, no, no. Visions of Mana is coming, but there's another game. It's called uh wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
Trials of
No.
Mana
Not
is
no no
no,
no.
that's
Atier Yumiya. I don't know. I got the name completely messed up.
that's all right.
It's a Koei Tecmo game. Altair
Okay,
Yumiya, The
gotcha.
Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land is coming
Wow.
early 2025 on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Steam. And for the first time in the history of the franchise, Xbox One and Xbox Series S, Series X and S, right? This is a game that's never come to Xbox, but silence, right? Silence, because it's a niche type of game, and it's not in anybody that cares, anybody with a platform. Nobody cares about this game, so it's not being out, spoken about, right? Where this game, obviously, people with platforms are interested in this game. They love the game. They have nostalgia for it, so they're talking about it. But it's like that's what gets propagated out there, right? And when we frame it as a, you know, Xbox did bad, I if Xbox does something with their games, that's different. Xbox has a platform that games can be made for. If a company chooses to say, you Xbox gamers are not my priority, I do not see why we need to get on Xbox's case, right? Now, again, JRPGs, it was something they were sorely lacking. So they worked really hard. We know they worked really hard, and they changed the narratives. So most of the major JRPGs now come. We just saw Final Fantasy, right? Yoshi P's out there like PlayStation being exclusive to them screwed us.
Yeah.
We're done with that. We're bringing the games, right? So like Xbox is grabbing everything, but like when we find this little niche of a scenario, again, I have no problem with being like, yo, I want this game. This game should be coming to Xbox. It's let's point our gun right away from Xbox, right? They're like, yo, I don't know. They're not bringing the game here. What do you want me to do? You want me to go shoot them? You know what I'm saying? No, let's aim on the people who are doing this to us. It's not Xbox ain't doing shit to us. It's Capcom who says for this game, you guys are not going to buy enough or you're not going to spend enough to make it worth us spending our dollars to bring this game to you. Go out there, bring Capcom the smoke. Let them see that Xbox players care enough to come at them. They Xbox gets bitched at for everything at every given moment in time. Capcom's not going to look at that as something special. They're going to look at it as like, oh, another thing that they care about. Whatever. Who cares? They're still not going to buy the game, right? Like nobody's adding them. Nobody's making Capcom look bad for not bringing the game over here. That's what's going to hurt Capcom. If they have a bunch of Capcoms that everybody in Twitter is going to see, and everybody at Twitter is going to be like, yo, what's going on with Capcom? Why aren't they doing this shit? Right. And then all the casuals are going to be like, what's going on? Why isn't the game? Why isn't the game coming over here? What you understand? That's where we start
Very fair
making
point, dude.
that's where we start making an impact. You can't keep going at Xbox. They're gonna get extorted every time some of these stupid little games. And I'm not saying this game is stupid, but these little niche games come out and are skipping Xbox because of their choice, not Xbox's choice. Xbox didn't say you can't put your game here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only one group of people who are responsible, and that's the developers. And if we keep going against Xbox when we clearly know there's capability in doing this, like you're wasting their time. Like they're wasting time. They're wasting time dealing with this Capcom scenario on these old ass games. So they're gonna have to pay Capcom to do whatever's required to go ahead and put this in, man. There's nothing wrong with being upset that a game is skipping Xbox. Actually, like you said, the smoke should be given. There should be people losing their shit that a game is arbitrarily skipping Xbox, but it's not Xbox fault. And we should stop this thing where we're pushing Xbox to bow down to every developer in the world and be like, oh, whatever you need. Like they're already doing that, right? They're already help the developers as much as possible, right? Like, why is it only after that this is happening? I almost feel like it's on purpose. Like Capcom like announces, hey, another game not coming to Xbox. Like, and then if they're working on it, right? Like Jess says they're working on it. Why wasn't this being worked on in silence before the game's announcement? This game's coming out in 2025. If you know this shit is being worked on with Xbox, why are you announcing it? Right? It's clear if Jez says, right? We believe Jez.
Right.
If Jez says that Xbox is working on getting this fixed, what other purpose could there be for Capcom to announce a game that's coming next year when they know that Xbox is working on this, except to just make it where Xbox is in a bad position and they can get more leverage over Xbox to make them pay to put the extra work done to put this game out?
Well, I do have a small pushback. First of all, your
Sure.
points are incredible. Now, you asked why did they show this? My only caveat, and again, it's a complete theory, right? It's not even a pushback. It's basically a theory, a counter, if you will. These directs are usually done well in advance, right? They do because these are pre-recorded. I don't know because remember there wasn't any talk between Capcom and Xbox until people like myself and others came out and be like, "Hey, we're fans. Hello, take my money, please. I'll buy it on. I'm buying it on the Switch for sure. I'll buy it on the Xbox. You're getting it too from me." And that was the last direct that they have. Now, I'm not making excuses for Capcom or Nintendo for that matter. You simply ask, why did they show it? My only slight caveat would be I don't necessarily think it's on purpose to kind of back Microsoft into the corner as much as these were already done. And obviously they were done before the talks opened up. That would be my only thought and theory. Now, could I be wrong? Sure. Could they be Capcom actually trying to push Xbox into a corner? If they didn't have a good working relationship, I'd say 1,000%. But they just released one of their new IPs on Game Pass day and date.
Yep. That's what
So
I'm
they
saying.
do
This
have
is
a
not existing in
fantastic
isolation. I
right.
honestly, I think the simple thing came down to before all the negative backlash to Xbox, they were more than likely saying, "Yeah, we're not gonna pay you guys to put this game on our console. Like,
Yeah,
either
absolutely.
figure it out or we're not gonna pay.
We're not going to
It is
pay.
what it
Yeah.
is." And then everybody started coming at Xbox, and now it's like, all right, well, now we look bad, so let's go ahead and pay. Because that's the only reason this game is not there, is because it requires more work because
Well,
of
it requires
the
some
old engine.
additional back end. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just more money that has to get spent, and they don't wanna spend it, and it's just I don't know, I just think the narrative of everything falling on Xbox needs to we gotta figure it out because it's Capcom is the person, and I don't see people adding Capcom about this. It's always at Xbox. It is not the platformer's job to make sure that they pay every company to put a game on their service. They have the platform, they give everybody the same ability to make money. They they provide everything you need. This is an old ass game that's on a framework that Xbox doesn't support anymore. So like what do you want them to do? How many games are going to come out and how much money is going to be made on games like this for Xbox to start making all these investments on framework games? Like, I don't know.